and it was sculpted. And she had no shirt on. We're like bullshitting, talking. She got like tattoos. She's like a little bit rough, but like she's like, but like tough, not rough, but like tough.
You mean a guy?
She was like,
you mean a guy?
No, dude. She was all woman. I mean, like whatever she did,
but
like,
she wasn't. That's the point of the story.
She wasn't. She was born with a cock. But what I'm saying is,
Grown-up human comic people. Grown-up human comic people.
Here we are, episode number 8 of Volume 2 of Grown-up Human Comic People. Cheers to everybody. Yeah.
cheers.
We all got
I have
today.
a plastic and I have a glass.
Oh, Jared has a glass.
Jared
Did
has
you hear
both.
that?
I have both.
Oh, he has both. He's covering his bases.
I don't think we've ever explained this. Before, every time we start a podcast, we cheers each other, and for whatever reason, like whatever type of material all the rest of our glasses are made of, Jared always has the opposite.
Yeah, whatever the wrong one was, yeah.
Yeah. If we all have plastic, he has glass, and vice versa.
Yeah, stone, whatever, yeah.
Yeah. So, we're Grown Up Human Comic People. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, iTunes, Google Play, Libsyn, and Stitcher at Grown Up Humans, and Facebook at Grown Up Human Comic People. So go out there and follow us. Rate and review. That's how we know that we're doing a good job. So do that. We're also on the Epicast Network, so go to epicastnetwork.com. Check out the other podcasts. Shout out to Drinking Partners podcast. We had Dave Bracey on a little while ago. Oh, shout out to Does This Hold Up? Because they actually mentioned kind of offhand that there was going to be they didn't even know the name of what our name was, but they did mention that there's going to be a new podcast on. They were talking about comic books, so they talked about that we're going to be on the network.
That's
so
nice.
yeah. So shout out to those guys. All right, yeah. So we'll go around the room. First we got Chris.
Hello.
We got Beck.
I'm Becky. Hello.
J-Man.
What's going on?
Greg.
This is Greg speaking.
Dan. Sorry, Daniel.
Daniel.
Sorry.
I got the pancakes.
I'm Jared, and this is who we motherfucker is, son. So, why don't we start off? Dan's not here, so we don't have a
Chop talk.
Yeah. But we can do what Chin's doing. So who wants to start? What Chin's doing? What Chin's guys doing?
I can briefly fill in for Dan on the What Chin's Doing.
Okay.
And say, by the time this airs, Dan should have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A new child.
Yeah.
Whose middle name is hopefully something awesome and comic book related.
Yeah, it should be Darth Vader or Batman. Or Optimus Prime or something. Yeah.
So sometime in the last 9 months, Dan had sex. Awesome.
Nice.
Good job, man.
Fuck yeah.
I'm doing this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Classy.
I'm sure I can hear it from there.
Bet he saw her boobs, too. It's probably really awesome.
Oh, man. Aren't boobs the best?
They really are the
They're
best.
the
Yeah,
best.
They are,
they're
I
the
have
best.
them.
Everybody likes it.
Yeah, Becky does. Becky can attest to them. From both sides of the spectrum, too. Like, having them and appreciating
I know.
Is it Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
No.
October
It
now,
is
right?
October.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
this
wow.
is it. Yeah,
Perfect. So
breast cancer.
shout out to boobs.
Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to
titties.
boobs.
Yeah. If you have boobs and you're listening to this, appreciate them. If you are looking at boobs and you're listening to this, appreciate them. Just
Just a small note. Yeah, I have them. There. And if you are going to donate to anything breast cancer related, make sure you're donating to research and not awareness.
not awareness. That's stupid.
Not Susan Komen, nothing pink. Donate to awareness. I mean, research and not awareness is a very important distinction.
Your tips at the strip clubs go way less distance
Yeah.
than
yeah.
just saying.
You're just giving people dollars saying,
Yeah.
it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
No, I didn't know that.
Here you
Well,
go.
it is.
Wait.
Now
So-
you're aware.
What are breasts? Let me make you aware of them.
You know what? Speaking of the what Chin's doing, we went to strip clubs are weird. We went to our friend's bachelor party.
Yeah.
Were you were still with us, right?
No, not at the strip club. I bowed out before then.
It's just really
health issues.
I don't know how you guys feel about strip clubs. I always think it's way better to go to a strip club where the people are not attractive that are dancing.
Absolutely.
Because it's less depressing that way to me.
It's like watching a really funny B movie.
Kind of, yeah. We have some local strip clubs. We won't say any of the names of the strip clubs, but like there's one strip club I'd much rather go to than others because it's just like not like I don't feel like like people are trying to be sexy. Really, it's just more like this is a fun time. It's
Yeah.
not.
That's
Right.
more Pittsburgh, but if you go to the Canadian strip clubs where everything's allowed, it's like watching a nice piece of art.
Wait, when you say everything's allowed, what does that mean?
It's borderline prostitution up there.
Oh, I see.
As soon as you get to Canada, not only is it full nude, but they're allowed to do things that they cannot do in the United States.
Oh,
See, I was in Canada once. I really wish I had known that then.
I need to tell you guys, it's not fit for podcast, but I need to tell you my strip club story.
It's probably not fit for. I mean, I was 7 at the time. So. I'll tell you what, though. I would have appreciated it nonetheless.
Yeah, really. Oh my
That
God.
was probably the best setup joke ever.
Yeah, I love that. That was now I can. I'm just gonna go home.
No, but I mean, like Canada, whatever, like 85 or 90% of the population lives within like 50 miles of the U.S. border.
Yeah.
So they got to keep those motherfuckers in there somehow. So they're like, all right, check it out. Full nude at the strip clubs, and like you can kind of have sex.
Yeah,
Like,
that's basically
all right,
it.
man, I'm
yeah.
staying here. This is cool. Like, you need to go any further south.
We got Justin Trudeau. They have free healthcare, and besides maple syrup, they also have good strip clubs.
Yeah.
Check out Canada. Canada Tourism Board over here.
I agree with you, though. I hate strip clubs.
It's just so fucking weird, man.
It is.
It is
Like,
a weird environment.
It's really weird.
I've never walked out of a strip club after being there for any determined period of time and be like, man, I gotta jerk off. That was just so hot.
Seriously.
It's never happened. No.
Never,
And even,
ever.
like, that you're even trying to put that thought in my head is a bit, like, offensive.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think it's more... Now, first of all, you have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You're not a lonely, unattractive fat man. We also have the internet at our hands.
Right.
As opposed to, like, times ago wherever, like, a live woman shaking her cans in your face was a little bit, more difficult to get, as opposed to,
yeah, you don't see it every day.
Yeah. Whereas right now, you can look up any type of porn you want.
That's true.
Anything.
Yeah.
Do you think it was a... I wonder if strip club, like,
Have they taken a
attendance
hit?
have gone down.
Yeah, have they taken a hit
because
because of porn?
Yeah.
I
wonder
think
that.
so. I don't know. I mean, it's not like the live boobs are different than
Yeah, they are.
like computer boobs.
That's true.
Yeah, but I do remember when boobs used to be like real special. Like you'd see a movie and there'd be like a boob and you're like, what? Nice.
Yeah.
There are boobs in this movie. This movie's awesome. Like, even if it's a shitty movie, you're like,
it
this
was-
is a little bit better.
If it was PG-13.
Oh man,
Oh, yeah.
they'd
Yeah.
throw a boob in there. Like I remember going to see Titanic and being like, whoa, there's boobs. Okay, cool.
I have to go to our closet right now.
Yeah. I'm also
Yeah,
Oh,
but-
the Phoebe Cates pool scene, you're like,
Oh.
damn.
Yeah.
However, can you you would be much more of an advocate of strip clubs if you could go there and see Kate Winslet's boobs in live 3D.
That's true.
As
Yeah.
opposed to like some 39-year-old, post-hysterectomy Pittsburgherians.
Yeah, but I kind of love those women. Like, those
I
are the
prefer
women that, like, you get up on stage and you fucking belt out some goddamn karaoke and they are laughing and smiling and,
That's
like,
true.
you don't feel this, like, weird sort of hyper sexual, like, oh, I'm going to make you believe I'm going to fuck you.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, I'm naked and you're singing songs and we're doing it together and, it makes the experience great.
I think it's just more of a fun time as opposed to a sexual thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It should be fun, and I should never, because I always get a little bit sad when I walk in. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is a little upsetting, but if you can, like, get me out of that, and there's not, like, a C-section scar and some bullet holes from the first abortion.
Not because it's gross. Like, not because it's gross. And at least for me. Like, I don't want to see those things not because it's gross, but because it's like, oh man, like, you've had some tough experiences and maybe
Right.
that's what led you here. As opposed to, like, I'm here because this is a lot of fun and I'm facilitating fucking really good times for people. It's more like, oh, well, you've had it rough. And
Well,
now you do this thing that's, kind of objectifying in certain lights. And
Enter
Can
the
I just-
pity tip.
Can I just say, did you just say that the bullet holes were from an abortion?
From the first abortion.
okay.
Nobody, I'm glad that you clarified that.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, do I say this? Is this too far? And nobody said anything, and I just went, all right, just go with it. Just go with it.
I heard it in that
He said
process,
bullet
and then he
holes,
started
not
talking.
hanger
so.
holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was okay.
Yeah,
Just
that
making
was-
sure.
It was dark.
Okay, good.
I'm glad that I'm glad that was clarified. Although I've got to say that the 39-year-old probably has more of a history of bad times than. I mean, I'm sure that like she's not completely free of misery.
No,
in her life.
and I mean, in fairness, there are very few people I can imagine who end up like on a stage taking their clothes off for money, who that isn't sort of like the manifestation of some really difficult life experiences expressed in what you do for money. However, with less like outward signs of like difficult life experiences, I can live in my own fairy tale, which is like, you're here because you want to make everybody have a good time, right? Like, I'm having a good time.
You're really cute, and I bet you're just working your way through college, and that's fine. And no one's ever tried to like jerk off on you and like maybe rape you a little bit in the private room.
right, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Because, 37-year-olds go back to college and have to pay their student loans.
Right, exactly. So yeah, bottom line, I think I'd rather go to a horrible strip club than a nice one. It's just less depressing.
Yeah.
And less
it's
expensive.
douchey,
Less
too.
expensive, too.
Certainly less
That's
expensive.
all these things are true. Yeah,
And also, those fun strip clubs are usually the ones that have the great buffets.
yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
It's true, they do.
With like one big pan filled with like
chicken
baked baked beans and hot dog pieces. Like,
I've had really good chicken wings at some strip clubs.
no, absolutely they do.
It's like the Golden Corral and
Trick
boobs.
is you got to go during your lunch break.
Oh, shit.
If the Golden Corral wait staff
Yeah,
was
exactly.
topless, I still wouldn't go.
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, Golden
Yeah.
Corral's horrible.
Oh my god.
Although, if the patrons were all forced to at least take off their shirt before going in, it would be
a different kind of place.
hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It would be fucking hilarious.
Oh, but no, some shameless motherfuckers would still go with their
Yeah.
gut hanging out,
no,
like just sweating ever on
That-
on. There'd be like grease wipe marks on the sneeze guard
Oh, God.
no, man.
above the food.
Because it would look like if you just so everybody just wasn't wearing a shirt, and so you couldn't see their pants, and they're like kind of half slouched over their plate. It would look like if manatees went out for lunch, like outside of the water, and they were all just leaned over. Yeah, like sea cows is what I imagine. Like a whole room.
There's a room full of people going mop, mop. I'm assuming that's what they sound like. I don't know.
The first time I ever...
That's how they would.
Yeah, First time I ever went to Golden Corral, I just didn't know what it was about. It was me and my friend in high school, and he was like, "Yeah, it's like all you can eat steak. Let's go there. It sounds awesome." So already you can tell people listening to this, I don't have a very high opinion of Golden Corral, and it was just as bad, if not worse, as you can possibly even imagine it. But my favorite part was I was there, and there was this guy with a full Pittsburgh mullet and just a mustache, and he had on a
Gunther.
giant red Coca-Cola baseball cap
Nice.
with the plastic strap in the back when that wasn't like throwback cool. That was just like that was a free hat that guy wore in public. And he's wearing
He's probably shot out of a cannon somewhere.
yeah, exactly. And he was wearing it was a wife beater and then just like an open flannel, so he's just not closed at all, and the wife beater's real small and his chest hair's sticking out. And he goes up and they're like, if you're like have some self-respect.
You just described Joe Dirt.
Yeah, Joe Dirt.
Pretty much. It was Joe Dirt. Yeah, it was. If you have some self-respect, you probably don't know or how a Golden Corral works. But for those of you that do have self-respect and are listening to this, you basically you pick out a cut of steak and you go and you give it to the guy and say, "I like this cut of steak. Could you grill this for me?" And he'll do whatever you want, and then he gives it back to you and you eat it. It's simple. It's effective. This guy walks up, cuts the entire line, and he shoves his hand over the glass shield thing, and he says, "Sir, that was the best steak that I have ever had in my entire life. I am 41 years old, and you have made all of my dreams come true, and I just wanted to thank you and shake your hand personally for cooking me this steak."
Oh my god!
So this is in Monroeville, Pennsylvania.
I was about to say, you went to the Monroeville one, didn't you?
Yeah. And it's me and my friend, and there's this kind of shaky, very skinny old black dude. And he has no idea what to do because why would you ever receive a compliment at the Golden Corral? And he's standing there and he's just He's dead silent, and he like puts up a hand, kind of like the way the Queen would shake your hand.
The dainty shake.
Yeah,
The limp wrist.
and the guy looks at me and says, "God bless you, sir. God bless you." And he walks away. But he left a $20 bill in his tip jar
good
for
for
this
him.
steak.
Wow. I mean,
This is a good story.
did that guy cook you a steak?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was
Was it okay?
awful. It was just the worst. It was like, maybe.
Yeah, but can you imagine? I mean, there's some people who come from like, and I always, it's easy to criticize, but I know people who come from like abject poverty, and like they go to Haas's, and it's like the best day of the year. And then I think of that. It's easy for us to criticize, but then I think now that on the other hand, Golden Corral has some horrible hygiene. You should never go to Golden Corral.
Yeah.
Like
There's that story like a year ago.
Exactly.
They're just keeping the meat outside
by the dumpster. Yeah, you should never go to Golden Corral. But I mean, that
happened.
being said, I'm glad he got a nice tip, even if he was cooking terrible meat. But that might have been out of it, like
Also,
outside
the
of
meat
his.
is probably not.
The
his
meat is probably
call.
terrible.
Yeah, he didn't.
But
buy
in
the
fairness, guys, we ingest some stuff during the course of this podcast.
Oh, that's a good point.
And any one of us, like at any point, we could end up at some weird restaurant and decide that like that had been the best meal of our life, and reach into our pockets and give somebody some absurd tip.
That's true.
for-
That guy might have been high as.
Like I'm just imagining this dude is fucking just like high as shit.
Well, if he looks like Joe Dirt, it's probably meth. He's probably
Yeah,
on
meth or something. Or he could have been just like having a good day. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I like it so much better if he's
He's on
really
meth.
fucked up. Like on like some drugs, maybe not meth, but like maybe he's like
And he's
like stoned, like smokes a big blunt with like some opium in it, and like he's just like
Oh, if he has the munchies,
he's-
then of course he'd
he's
think that
actually-
steak was good.
he's
Yeah.
actually an investment banker.
He works at K&L Gates downtown.
Yeah, he just is so fucked up that that's what he put on that day. And he went to Golden Corral.
he thought he was going to like Ruth's Chris or something. He was like,
No, he didn't think that. He didn't know what he was doing because he just put on like any clothes he found.
He forgot to make the reservation, and he was like, well, we might as well get steak somewhere.
all you can eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, my
Like
God.
$14. I'm in.
Is that how much it is?
Yeah,
No,
it's
no,
like
no.
it's
my
depending
God.
on if they have like steak that day. It's either 14 or 20.
Jesus
Wait, it's
Christ.
$20 to go there? I just like threw out some
it
arbitrary
depends.
number.
Well, if they have like prime rib that day, they'll jack up the cost.
Wow. Okay.
Prime rib always sounds a lot better than it is.
It's terrible. I
not
hate
good. It's
prime
not
rib.
good.
That's like a wedding
It's
food.
yeah.
You know what? you gotta do it yourself. If you made a prime rib yourself and you followed like
Yeah.
you like my parents do it for Christmas every year, and it's vastly 100% different than when you get it at a restaurant.
Well,
but I
it's
agree
different.
with you. I would never get it at a restaurant.
Like sous vide. If you've
Oh,
ever had
yeah.
sous vide, it's amazing.
Okay.
Prime rib.
I haven't had that.
What else Sin's doing?
What's Sin's doing with
I have a
wow,
I have
that
a
was-
positive one.
I think that was Dan's.
That was-
So,
that was
Degnan, nice what Jen's doing. Good to hear about all that.
Yeah, Dan, good job. That was a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
In
right.
absentia, he touched on everything. Steak,
yeah, we just did
babies,
strip clubs.
Boobs.
boobs.
Yeah, that was
Good
great.
job,
Sex.
Dan.
And, yeah, he's really doing a lot.
Keep up the good work, Dan.
If you
Yeah.
haven't visited the new storefront, you should go.
Yeah, 1931.
It's
1931 East
it's
Constant
next,
Street.
yeah.
Free Wi-Fi there.
And there's free Wi-Fi provided by MetaMesh.
MetaMesh.
Yep.
Woo!
Monkey's giving out that.
Yeah, we have an antenna.
Monkey. Nice. Classy.
Yeah.
Who else is doing stuff?
I have one. I just wanted to say quick thank you to the people at Washington Hospital. A woman made a very quick call in the ER, an ER doctor, and saved my life. Seriously, I would not be sitting here if it wasn't for her.
Whoa.
I'd either be dead or in very, very, very terrible condition. But because she made a very quick call, that was kind of like a 1 in a million call. She did it, and she saved my life, or at least saved my butt at the time. So thank you, Washington Hospital people, Dr. Mamros, and all of you guys are awesome. 4S, you're awesome. So
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks to people that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to that.
that's all.
Yeah. Greg, you looks like you're ready to say
Well,
something.
I can't think of when else would be. I don't want to back up the books too much, but I was saying earlier that I suppose this was fit into what Chin's doing. I brought over those that movie that I told you that I made. So I showed this to Midnight Rose fellas, but I never showed it to podcast fellas. And
What is it?
There's some movies that Greg made. What your college?
It's the sweet. They're sweet ass movies.
Yeah.
The first one's really good. The short
Is this
one,
for
I
film
like the
class?
short one.
Yeah.
Greg,
Short one's awesome.
Where'd you go, Duquesne?
Yeah, Duquesne. So I was thinking, I guess like right now they exist only on this disc. So and my hard drive too. So I guess I could upload them online and then we can link to it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Really should.
yeah.
Please,
You have a
Greg,
website?
do it.
Yeah, that's a
do
good
we
idea.
want to do it? 'Cause
Yes.
all right, we'll do that. So
What's the context?
the content? Okay, so this
No, don't
was-
even tell us. Let's just figure it out for ourselves.
Yeah, we'll watch it in a little while.
Okay,
then.
fair enough.
Yeah, when
Okay.
we'll break and we'll watch them.
No,
Okay.
you know what'd be great though if we. So there's a dude out in front of Zeke's Cafe on Penn Avenue. He's cool as fuck, but he hustles bootleg DVDs. Like that's what he does. So, man, like we should burn a bunch of these, but like put like the Spider-Man a Spider-Man logo on it, or like the Batman vs Superman, so people think they're picking up like Batman vs Superman for $5 and they get home. It's just your movies.
I thought you were going to say we should just put it in front of all the movies. He's selling
Oh
as
shit!
a trailer, like as a extra footage,
Like a
bonus features.
oh man,
So this-
that's actually brilliant too.
because then they won't throw it away.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like they still have the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you can't skip it. You do it in one of those ways
Right.
where
Yeah,
like
it's locked.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You
like
can't fast
sorry,
forward.
this is you gotta watch this 30 minutes of
I used to
Sponsors.
work at a beer distributor, and this guy used to come in and sell bootleg DVDs. His name was Gumdrop, but he was really bad at it.
Of course, his name is Gumdrop.
They were like, Gumdrop, get out of here. Nobody wants your stupid shit DVDs, because they would always be bootlegs, and they would be the wrong bootlegs. So, like, you'd get, like, Juno, and it would be, like,
Jason Bourne.
Amistad or something. Yeah. But it would be older movies that nobody cared about, but also bootlegged. So, like, there'd be, like, a guy, like, burping next to you. Or, that reminds me of that. Gumdrop DVDs. Like, that's not going to be of
Was
any
that
high
at
quality.
the Carnegie?
Yeah, on
Okay,
Carnegie.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Are you guys doing anything? I mean, I know you always have your big Halloween, but are you guys doing any? I'm really into Halloween, but I'm
Yeah.
fucking limited to what I can do regarding fucking haunted houses because there's strobe lights.
Oh yeah.
So I just wanted to see. I know Greg's really into it. What are you guys? Do you guys do any of that stuff?
So if people are going out or whatever, I'll go to haunted houses anytime.
Yeah.
this week, if I can. It's,
That was
you know.
kind of my plan for October was every weekend do like a different haunted house.
Yeah.
So at least get
Or-
4 in.
or ghost hunting.
Oh,
Or ghost hunting.
What?
Yeah.
Ghost hunting is fun, man.
you guys could
Ghost
come
hunting?
and investigate the
Wait.
haunted printer at Work Hard Pittsburgh.
Oh,
I sent you guys the video.
Okay, so last night,
Jesus
speaking of what
Christ.
what Chin's doing, Dan and I attended the Haunted Oaks Film Festival. Shout out to Joe, by the way. Joe, nice. The whole event was great. Good
yeah,
job.
it was a fantastic.
It was
event.
fun. But they,
What happened?
so at some point there was somebody from a I'm not going to say which one. I mean, you could probably figure it out. But anyway, there was somebody who was from like one of the local paranormal investigator, like the
Oh,
whole team.
God.
Their team was there.
Awesome. The Ghostbusters.
Yeah, they had
There.
local Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Wait, local Ghostbuster, local ghost hunters.
Hunters. They don't
Okay.
actually catch the ghosts.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was
That
about
would be impossible.
They don't
I
have
know,
that technology.
but there are. There's
Yeah,
local
that's ridiculous. Yeah, because it's looking for ghosts. is
Well, I
fucking-
say that because there is a local team that has an Ecto one, and they. travel-
yeah. No,
That's what I meant.
see what you mean. Okay.
No, that's
Yeah.
fun.
Not-
This is
cosplayers.
fun, but in like
Yeah.
a sad, fucked up
Okay,
way.
that's what I meant.
That is, you know what? I don't have to say anything more about that. Yeah, they had a presentation and it was fun.
Oh, yo, but this motherfucker
Presentation.
came out on stage, right? And he's got this like motley crew of like, I feel bad. They'll probably never fucking listen to this. It doesn't matter.
I hope
but it's
they
like,
don't.
it's like, a middle-aged woman, her daughter, like a couple other people, right? And he brings them up on the stage, but like never into where it's lit up. So
Yeah,
you
they're just standing
see,
on the
like,
side of the stage. Like they didn't have to be up there. Like he literally, like they gave him a microphone. And he just like went on this diatribe about the theater being haunted.
back
stuff.
and forth, like pacing with like large steps across the stage, and he had his official ghost hunter polo shirt tucked in to his desert BDUs, those military.
No,
pants.
they were jungle.
Oh, they were jungle.
was jungle,
Oh,
The
Christ.
jungle BDUs.
Yeah.
And then for footwear, I'm sure to maintain dexterity and fleet of foot, he had some Merrill trail sneakers. This guy was fucking hilarious, and he was so goddamn serious, and I almost cried.
He reminded me of some of the people we used to like train with. Like
Oh
the,
my
like the-
God.
the people who were like the older, middle-aged guys.
Yeah.
They're just very like they spend a lot of time doing what they want to do, and like they're good at it, and they think they're good at it, and they're going to tell you about it.
They're going to tell you all about it and how there's no other explanation. Like for his junior investigator, who was standing by a door in the back of the theater, and he was like, "I was just informed by my junior investigator that she heard someone speaking behind her. Clearly, no one was behind her. There's no other explanation for this than for the ghost." I was like, oh, or the theater full of like fucking 80 people and maybe the sound bouncing off of like this cavernous fucking room.
And also the people out in the hallway that were talking.
Or the people or the people behind the exit door.
Or anything else. Anything.
Occam's razor.
Yeah,
It's
really.
probably just a person talking fucking behind you.
These people don't understand the concept of Occam's razor.
It's really, dude, it was brilliant. And
I'm sure they're all nice people, and we're not making really making fun of them. It's just like the present. It was like his kind of. I felt bad for everyone else on the stage because they kind of just had to like stand there while he just like
There's
one of his
little
diatribe.
diatribes,
But I'm sure the rest of them are nice people.
I wonder if they were thinking from the side of the stage, man, this guy's really painting a bad picture of us.
Maybe I don't know.
We're not just
I mean, I personally enjoy going out to like quote unquote ghost hunt. You go to like a spooky place and you see if anything happens.
Those haunted Pittsburgh tours are kind of cute.
They're fun. Well, and also, but if you do it yourself,
Rick
like there's
Seaback.
there's no guarantee of like your safety. Like even if you go to like an abandoned building or something, and you're like wandering around, like it's not necessarily like supernaturally dangerous, but it's like kind of dangerous, like walking around an old building that might fall down.
right, I used to do that like in high school. We go up to like fucking weird abandoned places, but like the biggest fear for me, like I would always have like a bat or like a pipe or something because I thought like some hobo was gonna jump out and fucking
that's
like,
a real threat.
like some like crazy hobo was gonna knife us, and I was like, oh fuck, this is scary. It's like. Once you're dealing with that fear, like the fear of a ghost, it's like, well, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, this guy has like a fucking rusty fork.
That's scarier than any ghost. It's probably gonna leave you the fuck alone.
Like I mean, the worst I think I've ever heard of ghost doing is you get slimed.
Yeah,
Right.
Busted makes you feel good. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys? I used to live in North Braddock, and the house across the street where I used to live from is now the local Wiccan chapter has bought it and set up shop, and it's called the Pittsburgh Witch House, and they're doing a bunch of Halloween events, and it's funny because like they chose it because of its supposed. Now they're all old houses, I will say that, like early 1800s, and I asked my dad, again former fire chief, so he knows the history of basically every house and if it has termites. And I asked him, and I said, "Did anything remotely interesting happen?" He's like, "Well, I mean." People, I mean, there was like a gang fight, but no one died. I mean, the one lady did get murdered next door, but that house burned down. And if you look on Google Earth, like there's just an empty lot because of that house burned down, which is a common occurrence in Braddock, I will say. But
yes,
I'm just like, okay. But yeah, Pittsburgh Witch House, North Braddock.
Yeah, we can check it out. That'd be fun.
would be fun.
If they don't have strobe lights, they'll be. Oh, by the way, here's a little announcement. If you guys know of a cool Halloween place that doesn't have strobe lights, can you fucking let me know? Because every place that I go to, even Kennywood, I mean, my friend Scott runs Scare House, and he's just said no. He even has an epileptic on staff that hasn't been inside the scene. Like,
oh shit.
And I mean, look, I'm really careful about this. I take good care of myself, and he's just, if you know someplace, let me know, because I love Halloween.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Well, where we could go is we could just go across the street from Dan's house, where there was a murder-suicide this year.
That's
Like
fun.
3 months ago.
Yeah.
There should be all kinds of fresh ghosts there.
Fresh ass ghost man.
Fresh
The ghost game, the paranormal game is strong at that house. And this couple just moved in. And like, dude, like I sit across the street like at night, they'll come outside and like smoke cigarettes, and I'll be out there like smoking a cigarette. And I'll just watch them. You know what I mean? Like I'm fucking waiting for something to happen. Like I'm watching a movie. Just like watching them, and like nothing happens. Right? But like I'm waiting.
Just so everyone knows, this takes place in a town called Friendship.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
And then you see the third person that's in the top window when they're both outside.
right. Yeah, but it's actually just their friend who's staying the weekend.
It's the quote-unquote ghost from 3 Men and a Baby.
Yeah, man, that fucking house is crazy.
Yeah.
Talk about some shit. Call the police. Tell them like, oh, I'm gonna shoot myself, then my wife, and then you actually do it. Like normally, like somebody says some shit like that. It's like, oh, they just need some help.
You know, my
No, this
great-uncle did that.
motherfucker.
Yeah. What?
My great uncle killed his wife in front of his kids and then killed himself.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that's
I found
some
all
dark
these.
shit.
I found these like news clippings from the 19. We knew he did it. We just
Yeah.
the Zadels just don't give a solitary shit about history.
It's
I
two
do.
things, like, it's like hearing about it from like family, but then like seeing the newspaper.
Oh, the newspaper
Yeah.
clipping, especially like from the 1920s, because
Yeah.
and I found, and then on Ancestry.com you can like get the death certificate, and it's weird because it says, scratched out, he killed himself first, and then she died later, so they put married and put widow because technically she was. But reading through that stuff is like really creepy. Yeah, my great uncle did that in the 1920s. Fun fact.
That's so horrifying.
Facts.
But I'm sitting here kind of laughing at it too, because can you imagine, like, because this whole conversation is under the assumption that ghosts exist. Can you imagine the ghost conversation afterwards? Just looking like, why did you do that? You have to explain that to me now. This didn't change the situation at all.
now we're just both
Now
here
we're just
forever.
eternal.
They're both like right in the same positions. Like, he's still standing there angry. She's sitting there like bleeding, and she's like, "Oh, you fucking had to do it, huh? You had to do that.
Yeah.
You had to go and do that."
This is because of your mother.
He doomed himself to an eternity.
He was
of
drunk. I will
nagging.
say he was drunk. Not that that's an excuse, but like he was a drunk.
Oh.
But like I put a folder together of all the news clippings and stuff on my dad's desktop so that my mom can look at it.
As
My
Chris
dad-
pours whiskey. by
Again,
the
my
way.
dad just doesn't care. He's like, "What the hell is this death folder?" I'm like, "That's about your uncle, Dad." And he's like, "Nah." And he never looked inside of it. He just doesn't
Man,
care.
I'd be looking at that shit all the time.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I mean, not great, but
Fun family history.
interesting.
We went real dark this podcast
Yeah.
already.
Well, it is
It's
October.
almost Halloween.
Yeah.
It's October.
So
and-
congratulations, Dan, again on your baby.
Hey, we started out with boobs.
We did. That's true.
Breast cancer.
All right. Has anybody else been doing anything? I actually don't even know what anyone has been doing. The only thing I said was that Dan and I did a thing last night, but that was, anyway.
I beat a pulmonary embolism.
Good for
Another
you.
one.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. She's been great. Like, she's been like really great.
Yeah.
Just hanging out with people, like a lot, and like new people who, I'm like not real big on new people, and like meeting a lot of new people who are fucking rad and like surprising me with how cool they are.
I like that. I like when that happens.
Yeah. And then we went to Thrival, which was like
how
we
was
went
that?
to Thrival with
I went to
Andy.
Thrival,
We took
too.
Andy there for his birthday, and it was magical. This experience, like the combination of some botanically infused gummy bears,
B vitamins, everybody.
some
B vitamins.
wild, some rare wild fungus that was picked locally, and some craft beer. I mean, it was this medley that. I mean, it was just amazing. It was a fucking transcendent experience. While the chain smokers, or perhaps despite the chain smokers,
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't
blasting
remember
this shit out,
what the band was at all.
and we were all dancing to this. Like, we would never fucking dance to that. Jared was doing this crazy thing, like he was a genie. He kept doing this.
Wait, did you say Jer or Jared?
Jared.
I was.
It was fucking hilarious because everybody
Yeah,
was like
they-
kind of like looking. They didn't know what to make of us. Yeah, so that was fun, man.
Oh, you know what else we did?
What else we did?
We had a bit of a competition.
Oh, we don't have to talk about that on the podcast.
Yes, I want to hear. I had a rough week, and I want to hear that.
Oh,
So Dan and I went to the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they have those old timey, where you hit the hammer, hit right at the bell with the, you hit the.
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
cool.
Yeah, the ring the bell thing, and so the award is the person who wins this contest is named Person of the Year for the following.
Person of
for that year.
For that year.
The rest of that year and the beginning of the next.
Yeah, you get 3 swings per $2 you pay, and whoever hits the bell the most times wins the contest.
The most times, not the hardest on like a weight scale.
Oh no! Well, the assumption is that someone's going to hit the bell at least once. So
Yeah.
No, what I mean is it's not
Whoever
the
actually
bell.
hits the
It's
bell.
not like the feat of strength where the like higher the thing bounces up.
Yeah.
It is that.
The
Okay,
bell's
so
just at the top.
so it's not. But you're hitting that the most number of times.
Hitting it as hard as it can go.
Okay.
The most number.
But you only
of
get
times.
3 times, right?
Yeah.
Oh, out of those three, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it.
So we
I
did
thought.
that.
So how did the competition?
Well, so the winner,
Okay.
the person of the year 2016-2017 is Jared.
Congratulations.
With a score of
Three.
3-2.
I think it was 3-2.
And really gave it hell. We actually have one more game in us to if we were abiding by the rules.
Right.
But we got fucked up. We were walking around the Ren Fair, and we were like relatively pretty sober for the first round. Second round, a little bit less. By the time we got to that
we had
third
a bunch of
fucking
beers.
game, oh my god!
That's what those turkey legs are for.
Yeah, I know.
We ate 0 turkey legs.
Well, there's your problem.
Yeah, that was the problem actually. But we had
last
gummy
round.
bears, and that was that kind of.
Yeah. In the last round, because we had gotten progressively more fucked up, neither one of us hit the bell any time. So we're just like, okay, we're done with this now.
Yeah,
It was just really embarrassing.
yeah.
I need to bring up Jared's face real fast. When you were declaring him the winner of this contest between you two, it was the exact face that your mom has after she's told you a million times you're going to hurt yourself, and then you hurt yourself. That was his face right there. Like, don't play near the honeysuckle. A bee's going to sting you.
I was confident. I thought I had it. I thought I had it on lock this year. I was feeling pretty strong. But that's the gods. It wasn't in the cards for me this year. So, to you, person of the year.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Hey, bud. If I was going to lose to anyone, it was going to be to you.
I appreciate that.
So how long did you be person of the year? Like half a day?
No, the whole year.
The year. That's
Until the
the
next
point.
one.
Until the next. There's
like
nothing
Mortal
you
Kombat.
can. There's nothing we could do. About
It's like
it.
When was this? This was last
compare
week?
it
It
to
was last week? 2 weeks
Yeah, it was a week ago.
Yeah,
It was a week ago. Okay, and they have other Renaissance fairs every day since then, right?
Yes, but not this
You're
one.
not the strongest person in
Didn't
the
it
world.
end?
Somebody else is going to do this,
No, no,
too.
no,
It's
no,
not
no.
the strongest
This
person.
is between
person of
them.
the year.
Person
This
of
is
the
person
year.
who is the best person. It's in all kind of aspects of being a person.
Intelligence, attractiveness,
and this is
compassion, generosity,
consideration to others.
This is
Yeah.
measured with hammers?
Yes.
Yeah. in the number of
Chris.
times that you can
hit that
project
bell.
this metal piece up into a bell and make it ring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you determine who the best person is.
Yeah.
Well, obvious.
I've probably read Gang of Thrones, like the entire series, at least 4 times, and now it starts to make sense. Now that you're at the Renaissance Fair and the hammers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, I understand that mentality now.
Yeah. If you're the guy that hit the bell the most times, you're the best.
Yeah. And everybody knows that.
Yeah.
All Targaryen's got the power.
Exactly. Everyone else is not only they know it, they're required to recognize that fact.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just know.
Yes, or else there will be
It's like on a
consequences.
billboard somewhere.
Trophy will soon to follow.
Yeah, we're going to buy a trophy.
Oh,
Yeah.
you should.
Yeah. We're going to have it. And there will be
Make it like the
plaques for
Shiva.
every year. Little bronze plaques with the name
What's the name of the winner for that
of
year?
person of the year. And you get to keep the trophy at your house for the year, but it has to be displayed in a prominent place where everyone can see it.
Right, so we're trying to find the ugliest possible trophy.
Yeah.
Oh, obviously.
So it has to be out in the middle.
You gotta make it like the Shiva. Make it something like ridiculous.
Yeah, something real stupid like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With maybe like the pillars of it would be cocks.
I just realized we could just get anything bronzed.
Yeah, you really could. You
Yeah.
can get a
Oh,
dildo
that's
and get it
true.
bronzed.
I was like, a dildo with like action figures
Yeah.
attached to it.
Ah, do that. Like your army men.
Holy shit!
There you go. You're welcome.
We could just take it to like one of those places where they do like the fucking baby booties.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stupidest fucking thing.
You can actually do that yourself. They give kits.
For bronzing?
Yeah, they have kits like for baby. Yeah, get it on Amazon for like $20.
I didn't know bronze was that easy to work with.
I don't think it's real.
I was trying to think of like scenarios where a bronzed dildo would make sense with other characters around it. I mean,
Toy
the
Story.
only person to fucking think that through.
could you get like Star Trek figurines, like they're on some planet, or like where the beast of that episode is this sandworm that's shaped like a cock?
Sounds more like Saga, but yeah, I'm sure there's a cock monster.
I would like to maybe get like Star Wars or Star Trek figurines and but have all of their hands raised to it and like their heads like their gaze looking up at it.
Actually, in going with what Greg was just talking about, I was thinking of other scenarios in which that might happen where you have action figures. Because there's some like superheroes and stuff that have like reality manipulation powers, so they can pretty much do whatever they want. Like if a teenager just had those powers, like and the Avengers had to fight them. Like imagine you like all like yourself in high school. Like if you could manipulate reality and there were superheroes, wouldn't you fuck with them with like a humongous dick?
Like
Why not?
It's the ultimate troll
An
move.
almost like invincible dick, like but its only move was that it would take a long time to like get erect, and then it would just fall over and break some shit. Like,
Catherine was like, we got to take out that dick before it falls again.
T-minus it's 30 seconds till next full erection.
You have like all the Iron Man suits just like trying to hold it up as it's falling.
Which really, you could just glue the hands of the Iron Man suit under the dick, like without their. So it's like they're flying into it. You know, like they're all using their jet thrusters.
The Hulk is just punching in the balls, trying to.
Oh my god!
And meanwhile, this kid like is just like on top of a building, just laughing. You guys are fighting a giant dick,
Well,
idiots. And then they eventually would say like, "Dude, what's wrong with you?" And he's like, "What's wrong with you?"
the typical kid retort.
Yeah, he was just like you guys are all old and stupid. And then they're like, "No, we're not."
It's like something Tony Stark would say. Nuh-uh.
Because you can't argue with a teenager.
I know.
It's impossible. It's stupid.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm about to make this thing ejaculate. If you guys don't fuck off, I'm gonna make it ejaculate. It's gonna be awful.
Steve Rogers would be so upset.
Yeah.
He would be so unbelievably
He's
upset.
from the 40s. He didn't have porn.
He doesn't know what his own dick looks
I
like.
know. He is like that modicum of propriety that's just like gone. He still courts women.
All right. So that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Are you guys? Are any of you playing anytime soon? Like Super Monkey, Midnight Rose, or anything?
Not really.
Great.
We're
No.
You play?
finishing our album.
Yeah.
Yeah, is Super Monkey even still called Super Monkey?
No,
I don't know. I
No,
didn't know,
we're
sorry.
coming up with a different name for it.
Aqua Pocket.
No, that's no. There is a different band on the label called Aqua Rocket. But Aqua Pocket is way better.
There's a little jingle in my head right now. Aqua Pocket.
Yeah, I know.
You should just start billing them as Aqua Pocket.
I have the power to change the band name by
Right.
just by booking them that way.
Oh my
You're like, I
god.
don't know, man. It was just a typesetter. It fucked up, you know. It's missing the little thing for making an R.
Our name is Aqua Pocket, but we're thinking of changing it.
Okay. So anyway, I'll move on to the books here.
Yeah, books.
We'll go first. J-Man, you want to do Frostbite?
I'm doing the very first one.
Yeah.
You know how I don't like to do that.
Well, I wrote it down that way.
Okay, that's fine. This one's a Vertigo book. This is first issue, as is pretty much everything we're doing now, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're listening to this for the first time, I should probably explain this at least like during the beginning of the podcast every time. We talk about comic books. We usually do number ones and interesting things that we think you might be interested in. Okay, that was a dumb way to say that. But you can pretty much jump into most of the books that we talk about if you just go down, go to the comic book shop. You can find them online. I'd say go to Southside Comics, get your books. But yeah, you can jump right into most of these things and be right there with us.
Does Dan do online business?
Yeah,
Yes.
it does.
Good.
He
Yeah,
does.
so you can go to Southside Comics.
He's one of the few that
His
does.
website's really good.
Yeah, you
Like,
can
it's
find
a really nice professional. It's easy to navigate and
it's
shit.
great, and also
he has
you
a
can-
nice website.
It is really nice, and also you can go onto the Diamond catalog and order pre-order whatever is coming out. Like so, if you know there's a book coming out and you want it, you can go on it. Or if there's a back issue that's still available, you can order that too. Anyway, tell us who does the
Okay, it's
book.
written by Joshua Williamson, and the artist is Jason Sean Alexander. The colorist is Louis NCT.
I know. I
Jason
saw that.
What's
Alexander.
the, I don't know what the
Alexander.
NCT
Louis
bullshit is about.
NCT. Or Louis.
Jason
Yeah.
Sean Alexander also does a book called Empty Zone. Did we talk about Empty Zone?
No.
Okay, well, he does a book like that too, which actually was the first arc set in Pittsburgh.
Cool.
But anyway, so those are the yeah.
It's another post-apocalyptic thing, which is starting to get fucking old.
I told you
Yeah.
guys
It's getting
that.
rough, and especially this one because we did another book called Snowfall,
Which is similar.
which is a post-apocalyptic, and it's like a snow,
Yeah.
new ice age type deal.
And we literally did the opposite of this, which was Eclipse.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now we're doing another one that's in the snow,
Yeah.
and it's just like
I will say I like this Frostbite a lot better than Snowfall, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I do
The
too.
art's
This
better. The
yeah.
story's better.
The other one was a little more fantasy than this one is.
Yeah.
True.
And it basically surrounds the title is Frostbite, and that's because that's like the disease that people catch, which doesn't make a lot of sense because frostbite is not a disease, but like in this it is. So they like named something that's already something else.
Maybe because it's so cold outside all the time, regular frostbite's so common that they just stopped calling it that. They're like, they just assume that someone.
So now
everybody has frostbite.
This frostbite in this book though is like something you can catch from somebody.
Yeah,
and it like freezes your ass. Like
Freezes you solid.
yeah,
from the inside out.
Like it doesn't make your foot black like Mr. Deeds. Like it like fucking kills you.
Yeah,
That's confusing. What?
It's super confusing. Which
Yeah.
I was
Well,
like,
also
they could have just named it something else.
Mr. Deeds was very confusing. I could never figure it out.
That whole Hawaiian Punch water fountain. Yeah.
like how much money does he get?
Yeah.
How long does he have to? I don't know.
Is that butler really that sneaky?
Yeah.
He's very sneaky.
Well, I mean, he is a pederast. So. Anyway.
I read it right before this. I admit that. I like literally right before I was like, I got to read one of these fucking comics. Let me read this. And I think the art style is really awesome, and it's brutal as fuck.
Yeah,
I like
Alexander's
it
art
too.
style's cool.
You are right. Yeah, the art style is pretty good.
I like it.
I don't know how much like spoiler we want to get into like,
It's the first
We-
issue.
we-
so
Yeah,
it doesn't
don't.
really matter.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really like if I would take away from it, I wouldn't say it. But yeah, obviously these people have this like brutal disease where they just get frozen solid, and they're tropes that are used over and over. There's nothing new here, but I think the art style really adds to how brutal it is. Especially when like, they smash that first like ice person, and it's that old lady's husband who's
Yeah.
frozen
Well,
solid.
he's the one who has
Yeah.
the frostbite.
yeah, and you're just like, oh.
We didn't mention also that it's not just the frostbite disease, but also it's the second ice age,
Right.
Or a third. What they say, second or third ice age.
It's the new ice age.
It's the new.
They say, yeah.
A bunch of scientists
Yeah.
tried to curb global warming, and they actually caused this
Right.
problem.
And they made shit worse.
They
And
made
so
it worse.
so it's a combination of the actual climate being cold as fuck all the time, and also there's now this new disease that freezes people from the inside out. So humanity is fucked in two different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a weird complaint about this one. It's actually with like the way the comic is presented itself. It seemed like there were a lot of full page ads in there that were
There actually
really,
were. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
is that am I
Yeah.
crazy?
Because when I started reading it, I was like, this might be like Aftershock or something, one of the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Because usually they have lots of shit in there because they're a smaller publisher
And
or
they
whatever.
have
They
to
need
have
to.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is Valiant, so it shouldn't.
Vertigo.
Or Vertigo.
Well,
Yeah.
Vertigo's DC, and DC does that. Like a lot of the newer DC.
Do they do
They'll
that
have-
more often than Marvel and shit?
Oh, absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
see, here's the
I
thing.
never paid
DC,
that close attention.
They'll have like a block of ads, like in all the Rebirth comics. Once you get to maybe about halfway, it's literally 5 pages of ads, and then the story continues after those.
But I'd
ads.
rather have that than like having it every 2 pages.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like this is the same amount of ads in the one book, but they're all like
Fair.
they're really invasive. It does seem more
Yeah.
invasive than like a lot of comic book.
it was
ads.
off-putting. I'll be honest, and I don't mind commercials. I understand how the world works, but
Yeah.
look at the difference, how vibrant the colors are because of the way they chose the color palette for the actual comic itself. I
And
think
it is
that's even more.
off-putting. It's
Yeah.
off-putting.
It's jarring.
Yeah.
Distracting.
Most of the ads too seem like they're just ads for like their other books.
Well,
It's
they
not
are.
even like they
True.
needed to put them in there to like supplement the price or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. It's their own ads.
On the contrast, like you were saying, if I were to take a moment to imagine not seeing those ads, like if I close one eye and open the other, the story, like the colors are cool there. It's kind of like if you're looking at if you're going through a museum and you see a bunch of older paintings because it's like your 500 years ago hallway or whatever, then and just all of a sudden there's a poster for some event coming up, it just stands out. But like until that point, until you get distracted by one of those vibrant things, you're kind of in that mode of thinking or in that world, and it's pulls you out of that, unfortunately.
I mean, the commercials and TV do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's annoying, and they're increasing.
Yeah, I mean, if you like this and you were to buy the trade paperback, you would be able to go through it
Right.
with no ads in the middle.
Right. But what do you guys think that a lot of these? There's so many comics and so many shows. They have this recurring theme of post-apocalyptic, gotta survive. Like, why is this still fucking resonating with people? Why is like The Walking Dead on season 8 you know why?
Greg
Things-
explained it very well with the one episode. He said there was so little of it for so long,
Oh, last time, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also think it's
and
a
now
matter
it's
of-
just like, oh.
Well,
I think it's a matter of social, like the kind of state of the country.
Yeah.
Like,
Guess
for
so.
example, like Godzilla was born from the atomic bomb being dropped on Japan. Like that was like a national kind of fear that they had of like nuclear weapons, where Godzilla represents this thing that can end everything you know, like destroy your whole fucking city. Like Godzilla is an A-bomb, like that's what it is. And so like for whatever reason now, like in America, people are like, I mean, you see like people talking about, well, if Trump's the fucking president, then it's all the country's going to tear itself apart. And it's going to be like it's we have this feeling of like the end of days because we have a lot of things seem shitty.
Right, but you have Godzilla as a movie. You know, you have Godzilla as a movie. Godzilla didn't like take the ratings from like the Dick Van Dyke Show. You know, it wasn't like
As
Godzilla.
far as the movies go, they were there's like a whole genre now. And it started back then. Like they like all those giant monsters is the same thing. Like it's the same
Mothra,
as like
everything.
Post-apocalyptic shit. They just had monster movies because
Right. But this was like you would say wasn't as nearly as pervasive as the fucking Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And then all of this peripheral apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic media that people are like ingesting and creating. And how does Vertigo Valiant?
Yeah, it's Vertigo.
It's Vertigo.
How does whoever gives the green light on releasing this, like, okay, wait, so tell me this idea again. Oh, okay, yeah, so post-apocalyptic. Okay, got that. Yeah, we've seen that before. Okay, how is it? Oh, so it's snow this time. Okay, well, I mean, there's other stuff out there like that too. Oh, but they get frostbite. Oh, that's a different thing. Yeah, let's roll with it. Let's do it.
But that's how it
You know,
works.
like-
yeah, it's
so
like the same with
okay,
movies.
interests and things that are popular. I mean, even anthropologically speaking, come in waves. Whether it's like Mothra and Giant the Blob, you got to think of those. Those were popular in the 50s and 60s. Right now, late 90s to now has been post-apocalyptic. There was a little bit, it got popular, and it's probably going to die down, and it's going to be the next big thing. And because executives don't really care that there's saturation of the market, they just care that it's popular.
They'll only stop when they stop making money.
Exactly. So
Like, oh yeah, that's popular right now. Do that.
keep in mind, it wasn't just Godzilla. It was Mothra. It was the Blob. It was a lot of giant things, and that's what was popular. And then there was UFOs.
It was Nirvana.
Yeah. Exactly.
But like,
So this will probably die down.
Music was still on MTV.
What I was saying though was I feel like back then, even with the Blob, even with Mothra, even with Godzilla, that appealed to like a very small margin or a much smaller
No.
segment of the population.
I don't think so at all.
In that country, that was like the national feeling.
Yeah.
Like that. It was like people like that shit because they were like, "This is how we all feel right now." I'm saying that like for some reason, America feels like, well, we're right on the brink. Zombies are coming, or fucking, we're all gonna ruin the environment, or terrorists are gonna destroy our country, whatever the hell they're
Right, and
paranoid
there's
about.
all these TV shows, preppers too, preppers as well feeds into the same sort of mindset. Like people are ingesting a lot of media. My point was, with these things in the 50s, you had movies. People would go see them. They wouldn't watch them fucking every week on their television at home.
Yeah.
It's also
they
a different
weren't like
type
buying.
of... Yeah.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying there's like a market for it. Maybe back then, if they would have had access to, if comic books would have been more popular, if television would have been, if programming would have been more available through whatever different networks, then perhaps it would have been, and people would have eaten up as much as they are of it now. But it's interesting, and it's interesting to think that like back then it was like, oh, the atomic bomb. Now, end of days.
You know what? I disagree with you on this one. I think you're kind of making it bigger than it is. We've always been obsessed with the end of days.
Yeah.
This is a common theme
I agree with
through
you.
all. I mean, let's look back to the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yeah.
That's an end of days book. It's very different because it's very much in their times. But what you're seeing now, and I get with the zombie thing, that's a little bit different. But we're always obsessed with the end of times. We're always obsessed with the end
Look
of
at the
civilization
Victorians.
and how to get beyond that. It's just a reflection of the time that I think has been beaten to a dead horse in which you're referring to. But it's not the post-apocalypse. We're always wondering it. That's how religion exists. post-apocalypse. Who survives beyond that?
I think there's also like for the 90s. In the 90s, we had like the disaster movie it was almost like the
like Deep
wave.
Impact, Armageddon, Independence Day.
It was less of like the aftermath of it was what happened versus what happened after. Like now we have a lot of like aftermath. Like it's fucking Walking Dead. It's all
like I said, it comes in waves.
And this Frostbite book. Like we're looking at like because I think the media has become a little more sophisticated, especially like along TV. We get better TV, so like now people like they're like, well, we could make a movie about showing like an asteroid hitting Earth, or we can make a TV series that shows like the psychology of what happens to people after an asteroid hits. Like, and we can just drag that out for much longer than like just the one movie or whatever. So I think it might even be a combination of like the media becoming like the consumers of the media becoming more like savvier watchers.
Yeah, you also have a lot more
average
media available. We have streaming, we have internet. I mean, like we have everything available to us, as opposed to a limited number of media in the even in the 90s.
Yeah, and I would say for a TV thing, when's the last time like you saw a show that was advertised that was like actively like really bad, like not just like I didn't really like that. But like, where you're like, are they fucking serious with this? Because like back in the day, it used to be like every show was like that. You're like, did people watch this? But then like from about like probably 5-10 years ago, you get TV that's much more like you see something you're like, you know what? Yeah, that was cool. I like that. Or even like sitcoms. You're like, well, yeah, that was funny.
Mail Order Bride.
If it was on, I'd watch it. You don't get as much stuff that was like, oh, wow, this is not going to last. There's no fucking way.
They do. It's called The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
It's been on for like 20 years.
But there's an example. I was just saying, they just did the fastest canceled show of all time, Mail Order Bride.
Oh, really?
They created it, and it was canceled as soon as it was, and not like the pilot was out, and they just, it was so offensive and so bad that it's already been canceled.
Wow.
Can you still buy the DVD?
Oh, sure. I'm sure.
Oh, you'll definitely eventually.
You'll be able to.
It'll
be able to stream for like a month.
I'm just thinking if it's that bad and tasteless, I mean, that's a thing of interest.
Dude, we're going to have your movies for sale on Amazon in like 20 minutes here after we watch them. I mean, you can buy anything.
No, I've been going back through on Netflix. They have Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Yeah.
The first season.
Oh, yeah.
So I went back. I watched the first episode, and it's pretty good. The content in there is like
excellent.
Kind of, I mean, not kind of. It is. It's dark, and I'm appreciating how kind of cynical and very British Alfred Hitchcock is with his humor. Mm-hmm. So I don't know where I was going with that, but you're right. The majority of the shit you watch from back then, like I used to watch when I was a kid with my mom and stuff on like Nick at Night.
Yeah.
It's like this is the most inane bullshit. Like I used to when people were like, "Oh, I love that show." What was the one? Hello, Ricky.
Lucy?
Lucy?
Hello, or what's it called?
Lucy.
I love Lucy.
I love Lucy.
When people would say I love that show, I'd be like,
You're the first person
fucking
ever
retarded?
You're the first person ever to remember Ricky instead of Lucy.
Yeah, I know. That's a really good point.
Valid.
That's totally fair. But it's because it was so fucking vapid to me. I was like, how people would be like, "Oh, I love that show. I love Lucy and what's her friend's name?" And I'm like,
Ethel.
Really? Ethel? Like how the fuck can you like them? They're like the dumbest people I've ever seen.
Actually, you know what? On this one, I'm going to argue with you because there's some brilliant parts of I Love Lucy.
Yeah,
like that shit
there
is
are good
some of the shit is really funny.
But do you know
the
why?
assembly line one is great.
Oh, yeah, the chocolate
they're
one,
trying to
yeah.
do the chocolate, and they're just eating it and putting their
One
bra
of
on.
the-
It's so funny.
Best examples of comedy ever.
Oh yeah, like as far as like
Slapstick
visual
type of,
comedy,
yeah.
it's so fucking funny.
But do you know
They're really good.
why? I mean, there's actually psychology to that. Do you know why they were so things like Andy Griffith and Dick Van Dyke and I Love Lucy? Do you know why they were purposefully lighthearted and why they were so proper? Is because this is during Bay of Pigs. This is during JFK getting shot. This is during fear, nuclear war, and they needed that reassurance. Like I used to teach
This
media
was before
studies.
they were starting to prescribe lots of opiates for
Yes,
people who just
exactly.
No, this
didn't
was
want
like
to-
right around that time. Not opiates, but like you have like this pill culture, this
Yeah.
like
Right,
suburban,
Right, but this
like-
is
But this is also like it's the first. They're like
This
we
is
need
the
to
first
subdue
wave of
everybody,
that.
so just put a bunch of bullshit out there, and
Yeah.
hopefully they'll be sit on the couch and laugh and
most. I mean,
get fat.
everything. I mean,
Leave
and
it to
Alfred
Beaver.
Hitchcock is different
Yeah.
because it kind of led a new genre of like serious, kind of. I mean, they had horror obviously, but it was usually in the films, not
Same
as
with-
opposed
sorry.
as opposed to television.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like the Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone. I was just going to say
example.
Twilight Zone's the other one.
Fucking Twilight Zone, also killer, also on Netflix. Also rewatching those.
But nothing. I wanted to say something about the comic.
No, go ahead.
The first
Becky,
thing
that's not allowed.
I know, right?
Chris said so.
Do you know what the first thing that stuck? I mean, and this is how my ridiculous brain works. The first thing that stuck, besides Snowfall, because that was the first thing, and I'm like, this is a carbon copy of Snowfall. It reminded me of Firefly. One, because the character Keaton, strong young black woman, she reminds me of Zoe, and Chuck looks exactly like Jane. And they have a transporter,
right.
and they are about to transport some rich people for seemingly
two rich people.
Two rich people who are kind of shady, and you don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's not post-apocalyptic, but I mean, in Firefly, but kind of a rundown but yet sturdy vessel.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I got a sense of Firefly in there.
I never thought about that. But yeah, you're right. That now that you say that, that does seem very Firefly-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she reminded me of Zoe, especially because she's got a short temper, but she's also got a heart. She, puts the credits of heat in for the children and uses her money for that. So,
yeah.
I don't know. That was that. Besides that, and thinking that it was very like Snowfall, but better than Snowfall, that was the only.
Well, Snowfall is the opposite because Snowfall there hasn't been Snowfall. And then the weather wizard shows up. And,
but it's still like a...
Yeah, it's a weather-based...
Weather-based, yeah.
A post-apocalypse fantasy.
Was Snowfall... That was Image, though, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I read the first 3 or 4 of those, and it was fine. It wasn't... I stopped after a little while.
Yeah, I stopped
it
after
lost
2.
me. Yeah. I did, however, read the latest Weird Detective, and it is great.
Wait, the second one?
Third one.
Oh, the third one.
Yeah.
I didn't read the second one.
Yeah, it's still fantastic. In fact, at some point they're out. He and his partner are out together, knocking door to door, and there's a young woman opens the door and says, "Can I help you?" And he says, "Hello, ma'am." And she says, "Ma'am, how do I look to you?" And then his partner says, "He's Canadian."
He even
It's
calls
just
the
easier.
strippers, man.
Yeah, it's just easier to say than he's this fucking alien weirdo.
Wait, so she knows now.
Oh, actually, she doesn't. Actually,
Okay.
Yeah, or yeah.
They should,
She has suspicion. But
They should stretch that out because if the longer they stretch that out, the more that tension is there. Like the more they can play on that joke instead of
Right.
just issue 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Not oh, she knows now. There goes the joke.
yeah.
Right.
So, I don't know. Anybody else? Jared? Things to say about this? Is your book?
Yeah, everything was said that needed to be said.
Okay.
I wasn't crazy about it
Okay.
in general.
Okay.
Will we read it?
Yes. Will we read it, Chris?
I
Will we
would.
read it? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Becky.
I don't think
Read
so.
more? Okay.
I'm just kind of tired of it.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
For some, I feel like I would enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have a good feeling about this one. I don't know.
9. No. I shan't.
I enjoyed it. I thought the art is.
Oh, I do like the art.
Alexander or Jason Sean Alexander. His art is fucking great.
I do want to say that I like
It's
the art.
really
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, and it's interesting enough. Like, I mean, I like Firefly. See, it's pretty brutal. Yeah, I'm down with it. I'll read the next one. It's going to have to work a little bit harder to keep me going, though.
I would like to say that there were a lot of strong comparisons to, what was it, Snowfall?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did not read that. So
right.
I might have a different opinion if I would have read Snowfall.
Snowfall. It's honestly like it's the most similarity you have is because it's like they're both weather
related.
things.
That could be enough,
Snowfall
though.
is the opposite. It's like no, it hasn't snowed for whatever, like years and years.
Except for one part.
Wait.
I don't know. It's complicated.
Yeah. I don't,
Okay, hold on. Now, you know what? I don't want to derail this. Let's just go on to the next one.
Well, I'll get you a copy of it.
I have it if you want to read it.
Yeah.
No, I
I
don't.
just the thing I wanted to finish saying is, you can turn me off to something immediately by saying this is a story about apocalyptic something or apocalypse
I'm the same
something.
way.
And I'm like, Children of Men, brilliant
Oh, yeah.
movie. When that movie came out, fucking anything. I read what's his name's book, The Road.
Cormac McCarthy.
McCarthy, yeah, I had got into The Walking Dead, the books. It was right after the first trade was released. I bought that first trade, was into that, like all of this stuff. I was like, this is hot. This is fucking cool, man. I've been like thinking about this shit, and now it's like the quickest way to get me to be like, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm curious with that. Is that because I'm still, I'm still, bless you. I'm not yet turned off by it automatically or anything. But I don't remember seeing a particularly bad attempt at a project that made that switch for me. You know what I mean? Like, was it a bad movie that you saw or like a bad book that you read that is the separating point from then to now?
I just feel I haven't seen anything original that was, wow, this is really interesting and different. Like Children of Men, that was brilliant. For me, that was brilliant. Mm-hmm. Walking Dead was a cool character study, sort of this extended, everything I loved about Night of the Living Dead, the original movie, which was, essentially just a character study of watching people's response to like some horrible zombie attack. And that was neat. And it was like Walking Dead was doing that, but like they had as much time as they wanted. They had infinity. The Road was the most disturbing book I've ever read. Like, nothing has left me as shook and like kind of fucking depressed and like weird as finishing that book. But since then, it's like I haven't seen a lot of, because I feel like you got it. So you got the whatever the virus outbreak or the zombie apocalypse thing. You got that kind of thing covered. With The Road, you have this sort of like perhaps post-nuclear, but like weather affected. Like there's like definitely there's the weather component in there, and so you have this like man versus nature, and then Children of Men. You have this just sort of like, who knows? Maybe this is supernatural. Maybe this is like something inspired by you. You don't really know, but this one woman has this miraculous. What do they call it? When the Virgin Mary became an immaculate conception. You have this immaculate conception.
But I can't believe you're from Pittsburgh and you can't remember that word.
But and it don't help none neither that I was just down at my parish. I was just down my parish there where I got all my sacraments all the way up to confirmation.
Sure.
Re-register because I'm about to be a godfather. Oh yeah, but get them. How you like them apples? Huh?
Hey, remember me?
But I think I agree with you. It's more of an oversaturation problem as opposed to something that was really bad that stuck out that turned him off from the genre.
Yeah,
that's how I am too. I think I said this a few episodes ago. I'm just tired of it. Oh wow, another post-apocalyptic thing. I mean, you can start as early as Metropolis, Brave New World. I mean, things from the Victorian era.
Yeah,
they were obsessed with that.
Right, exactly.
So but right now I think it's more of an oversaturation problem. We have all these types of media thrown at us, and there's nothing new and really, like, sparkly and shiny that's completely, I don't know, there's nothing new and ideal.
Just diminishing return, right? Like,
yes.
in, like, very
But again,
simple...
these things come in waves, and I think that this is going to start to die down, and maybe the next new thing will be puppets. Who knows? I don't know.
Yes.
You want to say something?
Yeah, I do. Okay, so, but if you took one of those movies from, like, if someone attempted, okay, so they make low budget horror movies nowadays. I mean, like, I always have.
What?
So I'm thinking, like, if you took, I just started at like a 2 or 3. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to let me go first, Chris. No, thanks for pointing out how little sense that was making. Let me retract a few seconds of that.
Do you want me to go first? So you can collect your thoughts?
No. If Night of the Living Dead came out today, it would look like one of the any other of the low budget horror movies that people right out of college are making. It was so by itself. I mean, I the loyalist in me hates myself for saying this, but I don't think that it would do as like it's not necessarily a better made movie in production value. The acting's not great across the board.
Yeah.
Dwayne, whatever his name is, that played Ben.
The main guy, yeah.
Yeah, he was great in the freaking sister. No, she's
awful.
Everybody else,
she's terrible.
The dad living in the basement. Anyway, but I still love that movie, and I guess my knowledge that it came out then. I don't know.
But it defined a genre. It can't be held up against the like mid 2000s.
I guess I guess that's true. Like knowing that it came out in a time when they definitely weren't doing it because it was the in thing to do, whereas a Walking Dead knockoff right now, you can't really respect them for originality in the same sense. So there's that.
But at the same, for me, the content, nobody has been able to capture this breakdown.
Yeah.
And I'm not somebody who's just into like B-rate fucking weird old esoteric horror movies. You know, like 28 Days Later, I feel like was the closest thing, like the movie that came closest to that sort of feeling of this character study that Night of the Living Dead did. But I have yet to see anyone do anything that's like, oh, yeah, you guys got it too.
I have to interrupt. I'm sorry. But I'm not gonna. I agree with you for the most part. Like pretty much everything you said is true, but there is programs out there right now that I think, and I'm only going with the zombie stereotype right now. I'm not going with the whole post-apocalyptic thing. That's a whole other thing. But for the zombie things, we keep bringing it up. There is a very, very good TV show that you can watch on Netflix called The Returned. It's
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
yeah, it's a French TV show where they from the get-go zombies are just
Never
real.
mind.
But I ain't reading. If I want to read something, I'm going to read a book. I ain't reading the TV. I don't turn that thing on to read it.
Yeah, Dan's not big on TV.
Now you're saying you ain't watching no French, froofy French things.
Unless they
what you're
speak
saying.
English.
Right. And not with one of them accents either.
No,
ain't trying-
nobody
trying-
want to hear that.
I ain't trying to...
Makes me sick. I hear people talk English funny. Makes me want to puke.
You got to read it, actually, buddy. They're not even talking English funny. It's just a French show. That's it. You're just going to listen to them speaking funny French. That's.
But then how am I going to know what they're saying if I ain't reading? Because I ain't trying to read. You didn't miss that. I said that
Well,
the
I
first
guess-
time.
No, I got it.
I guess that means you just got to learn French then. Watch this
fun.
show.
I got so many. I got an
takes
addition
some
that needs put on the house before I go listen to French TV shows and trying to learn that nonsense. I know all the French I need to know. French fries, French toast, French kiss. Done. Maybe a little ménage à trois. Huh? That's all. That's it. Dunskies.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
That's pretty good.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, The Return.
As you were saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Just watch. I'm still.
Just watch.
I'm still processing.
Give The Return a
Let's
chance.
just go to the next book. How about that?
Yeah. Watch The Return. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Some of us will read this book, some of us wouldn't. Next book. So, Surgeon X. Becky, this
Surgeon
is
X.
your book.
It's an image book. It's issue number 1. It's written by Sarah Kenny, illustrated by John Watkis, colors by Karen Berger. And I said it was a cross between V for Vendetta and House,
Okay.
set against a backdrop of political strife and post antibiotic apocalypse England. They say that.
still
They say
civilization.
antibiotic.
Yeah.
There's still
you go.
civilization, but it's actually falling down because people are dying because if you get a cut on a finger, you can no longer, there's superbugs, which is a salient problem right now because we are creating superbugs.
Yeah.
In fact, only last week, triclosan soaps were banned. They stopped selling them. Antibiotic soaps.
Oh, I see.
They stopped
Oh,
selling
that's
them
good.
completely because we've created superbugs as a result of them.
Right.
Real quick, for the audience, is that what, Dial, like those Dial orange bar
No, that's just
soaps?
anti.
No.
That's just
Bacterial?
hypoallergenic.
Yeah, those
Right.
are antibacterial soaps, not antibiotic soaps. There's a big difference.
Right.
And so what brand would be an antibiotic soap that maybe somebody would have purchased?
It depends. They had them in Dial sold them. Like, you do remember the ones with the little beads in them?
Oh, yeah.
That's what they wanted, and they stopped selling them. So.
Okay.
Those were antibiotic beads?
Yeah, triclosan. Triclosan is the actual
what the
antibiotic.
fuck?
in them.
He's
So,
like,
you
shit,
know,
I
if
used
you-
a bunch of that.
If you just have you get a late night out, you just wash your junk in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Bud,
Yeah.
you have to get it up the pee hole for it to work, and I ain't willing to do that.
Oh.
Hey, it's gonna burn one way or the other.
Hey, dun-dun-dun.
All right, no more Pittsburgh accents.
Yes.
This episode, no more.
I'm perturbed.
Yeah, sorry.
The main character is Rosa Scott. She's a surgeon, and she kind of uses a mixture of sass, black market drugs, and illegal antibiotics to save people who, under law, maybe not should not have been saved. So they, there's a young obese girl who needs surgery, and by law, because she hasn't taken care of herself, they say the government states that they shouldn't waste antibiotics on her. So
Pretty brutal.
yeah. And it's weird because we're not that far yet, and they've actually come up with a lot of solutions for our superbug problem, which is a good news. But again, there's a lot of V for Vendetta in this with the masks and everything.
I would say also there's an element of like some superhero shit, like some vigilante shit. Like if
she's
House
a vigilante,
was a vigilante
doctor.
Yeah.
That's I was gonna say. She's basically a vigilante doctor. She uses, black market medicine. She uses antibiotics when she perhaps shouldn't. And, she's obviously now, with this first issue, and I'm not going to give too much away, getting involved in politics because, there's a lot of political strife going on. As
a result of the laws that have been made to restrict the antibiotics.
And I don't want to give away who dies, but, I think the antibiotic apocalypse is something I haven't seen, at least not often. This I will continue. I will continue to read this because this is interesting to me. It's medical stuff, and you know how I am with medical stuff. But it's well written, it's well illustrated, and this is a salient issue for us. Yeah,
it seems like it's a little bit closer to reality than any of the other post-apocalyptic. Like it's not the end of the world. Like
right.
We have it's what 2038 or something.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's it's not
2036.
Yeah.
In England.
It's not this wasteland situation. It's everyone's the same pretty much, except now we have to have a much more advanced medicine. Otherwise, because she in her basement she creates this lab or like an operating room pretty much, and then she has like this kind of ring that goes around the person and it diagnoses them. It's like a tricorder from Star Trek. Kind of.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
So fucking cool.
She's Wesley. She's Crusher, Dr. Crusher.
Yeah, but it has like holographic like displays and stuff that come out of the thing. It's pretty cool. But yeah, this is a unique book. Yeah, it's interesting, and I can see it getting pretty cool.
Yeah, they mentioned that a cut on a finger could mean death.
Yeah,
just because of this big problem.
Pretty much return to the Dark Ages.
Mm-hmm. So, no, this is really interesting and well written. She's got a twin sister, and I'm not sure what her role is. Yeah,
and this one is. Unlike some of the other post-apocalyptic things, which seem to be like allegories for other stuff, like a lot of the things you read that are like Frostbite, it's maybe a little bit more than this, but not as much as like I don't know, some big Eclipse maybe, or something else that could be, like could be multiple meanings of something. You know what I mean?
This is I think this is a cool idea because. Yeah. Probably, I can say at least for myself, certainly. Like whenever I was living in Thailand, training at this fucking dirty ass Muay Thai camp, and I had gloves on, and I cut my hand inside the glove. Next day, my hand was swollen. The day after that, I had a fucking crazy red line going up my forearm. And so, for everyone who doesn't know me, I have some tattoos, and. There's on my upper right arm. It would be really difficult it was impossible for me to see this line, but it traveled in like 6 hours, like up my forearm into my tattoo, and it disappeared. So it's on my right hand side. So I just remember my old man, like from when I was a kid. He's like, if the red line reaches your heart, you die. And like that's the only truth I know. But like what I absolutely knew was my hand was fucking swollen, and I had a red line like coming up from this cut from wearing these fucking dirty, weird gloves. And I went to the hospital. I was fucked up, and I probably would have died. And the doctor just laughed, and he was like, "Oh, here, you gave me a fucking antibiotic pill," and gave me a handful more to like take for the next like 4 or 5 days. I took that one, like it was gone, done. I'm like, by the next morning, my hand, like the swelling went down. I had no more red line. Everything was fine. Like I probably would have fucking died. Yeah, if it were from 200 years ago,
a stupid little cut in your hand.
Yeah, from like just putting on some dirty gloves, and cutting my hand inside of that glove, and the bacteria that was like festering in there, just getting into that cut.
Also, did you take all the prescribed antibiotics? Because like that you're supposed to, because that's what creates the superbugs.
Oh,
I was thinking that same thing.
Oh, dude.
You did those, right?
Are you kidding me? I'm in the fucking jungle. This dude hands me a handful of antibiotics. I'm taking every fucking thing at exactly the time you fucking told me to take it. Like, whatever you need me to do. If I need to stand on my head and pray to the frog god while I do it, like, I'm doing it, man. I give zero fucks. Like, I'm not trying to die out there. Or, just anytime in the future.
Anytime relatively soon.
Where I thought you were going with those. Are you kidding me? I'm in the jungle. You know how much money I could make for the rest of those pills?
No, dude, I went over there with a fucking, I don't know, probably 500 pills of doxycycline that I was supposed to take, like, as prophylactic for some other bloodborne, like, whatever, like, mosquito shit. Does it? Yeah.
Oh, I see. For the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
I was fucking
They're like,
mosquitoes,
you're
man.
probably
That's
gonna
what I'm saying. I was fucking mosquitoes.
No, they're like, you're going to Thailand, you're probably going to be fucking a lot. It's just a caution.
That's where I was going.
Do you
with
ever
it.
want to notice the itch? Do you want to notice the itch? If you don't want to notice the itch, one of these a day, the itch will never even manifest. So, the chlamydia will be presented to a very hostile environment for it.
I don't understand how chlamydia is still a fucking thing.
It's curable.
Because motherfuckers
that's the
like
thing.
the fuck, man.
Yeah, but
Without
like,
a condom.
it's curable. You just you would think that enough people would have been like, oh, my shit's dripping.
And everyone has herpes, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like it's
Dude,
ridiculous.
No, dude, but like it's not ridiculous.
I
Think of
get
what
it.
you said. Like as soon as somebody takes that pill, they've already given chlamydia to like 6 other people. So like those people, and everybody's like, oh, it's just chlamydia. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So we're probably breeding some super chlamydia now.
Oh, there already are. There's super AIDS.
Yeah.
Super AIDS.
There is super
I
AIDS.
know. I've heard of super AIDS.
This is really interesting. Did you guys read the letter? There's no letters in this one, but there's like the letter of like how this is amazing of how this comic came to be.
Huh.
So Sarah Kenny, the writer, produces a couple BBC shows, Horizon and medical drama called Casualty. But she wanted to do research on medical disparity and how like Japan is 83.7 years and Sierra Leone is like 50. And she wanted to income disparity and how it leads to health problems even in the United States and Great Britain. She's British, obviously. She applied for a grant from the Wellcome Trust, which usually only gives money for science research. But she actually applied for it to write this comic. And she got it. And that's how this comic came to be.
Wow.
Because she got a grant that usually funds scientific research. But she wanted to tell a story in more, that was more, I guess, digestible by laymen to talk about income disparity and about antibiotic resistance in a more, digestible fashion to kids and teenagers and adults.
So we would call this more of an awareness piece.
It's weird. I mean, this grant that she got is a scientific grant.
Well,
Yeah.
so what we're doing right now, we're doing the good work right now.
You're
we're doing the
welcome,
Lord's
Miss
work.
Kenny.
Spreading the word.
Yeah.
Take all your pills if you get antibiotics. Take all of them.
Take all of them.
Antibiotics.
Stop being
I
a
didn't say that word at
dickhead.
all.
They don't give you 40 because they need you to take 32.
Yeah.
Like, fucking it's 4 more days, man. Twice a day. Is it that hard?
Quit
You
creating
fucking just put
superbugs.
them right by your sink when you brush your teeth. Hopefully you disgusting fucks brush your teeth at least twice a day. Take one when you brush them in the morning and one when you brush them at night. Done. Okay? It's not that hard. Don't kill the rest of us because you're a lazy fuck.
Also, don't brush more than 3 times a day. That takes the enamel off your teeth.
Yeah.
Right. And
Brush
also
the right
could
amount of time.
Like, gum, cause your gums to recede.
I'm going to be
So
honest.
don't-
I brush twice a day.
Twice a day?
I don't get 3. I don't get 3.
No, I never get.
Unless
I
you have a
eat, like,
special, unless you're going
garlic
on a
soup or something
date,
like that.
you have a
yeah,
date,
yeah.
you're like
Yeah,
something
or you
special,
eat
you're
something
gonna,
real gross.
yeah, right.
Now, there's obviously caveat brushing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Caveat brushing.
Caveat brushing.
Between 2 and 3 times a day. is
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Don't exceed. And like for that, like if you're going on a date, like you don't need to spend like the full 4 minutes, Get a couple minutes. You don't have to kill yourself. And floss, make sure you floss. Use a little bit of mouthwash. Clean all that nasty stuff off. Brush your tongue. Because
You should always brush your tongue.
Yeah, brush your tongue because it holds some stink.
I imagine the audience right now just imagining a bunch of dentists with guns to our heads. We're all just sitting here with guns to our heads. And just like,
What is this grant that she got?
Mention 2 to 3 times.
The American Dental Association is holding us hostage right now.
We did what you said. Can we go now?
We go. Okay,
Yes,
fine.
I said I like Oral-B Ultra Glide. Oral-B Ultra Glide is the only floss for me.
And they leave, but they leave us
Me
toothbrushes.
too. It actually is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because the wax is like not too waxy. It's not too like
It's space floss. It's space floss.
exactly. It's,
Yeah.
it's flat, so you can get into that.
I thought the joke
Right.
was over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, we're talking about floss now.
I'm sorry I did this to you all.
So that's Surgeon X. Read it.
Yeah.
Brush no more than 3
Yeah.
times a day.
No,
And also, flossing hasn't been proven to actually be effective. I just read that.
but it reduces heart disease, and that's more correlation than causation, though.
I was like, yeah, that's correlation. I don't know how much I believe that one.
But I mean, like, it just makes sense. You have some funky shit stuck between your teeth that doesn't come out for like 4 days. Like, it's gonna collect things. You know, you have like fermenting food in your mouth.
As long as you
So-
get like the chunks out, yeah. But
Yeah.
as far as like,
But, like, you can't do that with a
scraping the
brush.
plaque off, they always say
that's
like
the first-
scrape the
Oh,
plaque
oh.
off between.
That's
Right.
the first step towards a good mouth wine, where you get all that funky stuff in there. fermenting.
Now I'm just imagining every time I've seen an old person just like doing like a mouth thing where they're just like chewing, but like not chewing anything. They're just like
found
making
a
that mouth
prize.
noise. Yeah, that's mouth wine.
They're making mouth wine.
They're making mouth wine, they're just harvesting their mouth wine.
Gross.
So gross.
They've grown mouth wine and they're harvesting it.
Asparagus beet mouth wine.
Oh yeah,
Damn it!
Asparagus beet pork chop mouth wine.
suck on a piece of wheat for a little while, and
Oh yeah.
they just take a fucking Werther's.
Yeah.
There's the sugar.
Yeah. Oh man, mouth wine loves Werther's.
man, this
Mouth
is
wine.
so gross. this is
Fucking sick as
disgusting.
shit.
What's the next fucking comic?
You can only make mouth wine if you're missing some teeth.
You need that extra space for the big chunks.
Yeah.
Can we move on?
What are we talking about?
Some dried fig mouth
All right,
wine.
please stop.
Oh yeah, Fig Newtons. That's big with old people.
Ignore.
I think this is the third time I've apologized tonight.
All right, so
Are you guys gonna read it?
Britannia. Oh right. So, yeah. Sorry. That's Chris. You gonna
yeah,
read it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love health problems.
Okay.
It's obviously yes.
Yeah.
Right
Sure.
there with
Yeah,
Chris.
Right.
Absolutely not. But it's more of a personal thing because
Yeah.
medical shows, all this medical shit. The first piece of medical jargon that I read in there, I was done with this fucking book. I didn't even finish it. I was like, "Fuck this." That's not my thing.
Fair enough.
It's like those CSI shows and
Yeah.
shit, all that. I hate that fucking crap too. I just can't read that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greg.
Hey, I always like a new spin on the post-apocalypse. I don't know. I probably won't, but it's a neat idea.
Okay.
I'm not turned off by the idea of it so much. You know, I can see what they're.
It's not bad. I personally just don't like this sort of thing.
Right.
I like their effort, for effort, but I'm not going to read it. But I will make mouth wine.
Please don't.
Yeah, that's super fucking gross. Who wants some of my mouth wine? Open up.
This is why the clap is still around. Because we're okay with mouth wine.
The clap is mouth wine.
You look your future wife in the face, and you said, "Let's swap mouth wine right now."
Hey,
You like pull open her lips. You like looking to see what she's got in there.
girl, let me get some of that mouth wine.
What?
Becky definitely went to her special place on this one. She's not. Yeah, she's just staring down. Trying
You guys ever watch Scrubs? Dr. Cox. He
You know
he
the
hears seagulls and beach flutter, and that's where I am right now.
you know the part in I believe it's Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever, or maybe it might. Oh no, you know what? It's Angels in the Outfield.
I was about-
like
that was
at
my
the, it's
next
the
guess.
very last fucking like
Same
scene.
movie.
It's slow motion. Tony Danza like spits like a regular spit, and then the fucking guy he's pitching against spits like a fucking wad of like, disgusting shit. Is it Angels in the Outfield or is it
No, it's Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year?
Yep.
It's Rookie of the Year. Yeah, it's the last guy.
Yeah,
the
the
last
last guy.
He spits that fucking.
The one he hits the home run off him in the first time.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Smell you later, nerd," or whatever he says.
Yeah, yeah. Garden hoser. Anyway, that's
mouth
mouth
wine.
wine right there.
That's a powerful mouth wine.
That
man had a powerful mouth wine.
That's a mouth whiskey.
That's a mouth.
So
Yes.
we need a Kickstarter. We need T-shirts that say that man had a powerful mouth wine. We need that on a T-shirt.
That's gonna be the new shit. Like you meet somebody.
I'll write that hashtag down.
Hashtag that man had a powerful mouth.
Powerful mouth wine. Yo, those motherfuckers.
Okay. So, this last book is called Britannia. Greg, would you like to tell us a little about it?
Oh man, I'm so far along. Okay, so in the opposite end of the spectrum from the future post-apocalypse stuff, this takes place around the time of Emperor Nero. I'm sure that you're all interested so far, but it's
Who's the writer in?
oh, okay. So this is a Valiant book. Peter Milligan, Juan Jose Rip R.Y.P. and Jordi Belair, and yeah, Valiant. I gotta say, I mean, before I even talk about the book itself, just I picked this thing up in the cardstock on like the cover is
right, which is a nice cover, right?
Yeah, it's a really
great
nice
cover,
cover.
yeah.
Good material.
And it's like sturdy.
Yeah, they should
Yeah.
take note, comic makers.
Yeah,
Just
really.
do that.
yeah. It's like one of the it's like the cover that you get on like the magazine section of CVS or whatever, and like you pick up that one like. You know, Time Life presents or something, and it's like a $16 magazine, and it's that kind of a cover on this issue 1 of Britannia. Yeah, yeah. But no, so it's anyway, it sets up like this history of the moment on the first couple of pages where they're talking about how much power the Vestal Virgins have, and it. What I like about it is that they're kind of pointing out like. Without doing it, but like through the dialogue, you're getting the impression like there's really nothing special about them. Like most of their power comes from the mystique. In fact, that the main girl says
that.
Yeah, she says that, and it's just the idea of it compounding in everyone's head. So anyway, they set it up with that, but then there's also deception elsewhere. Like there's some cave monster, but you're not sure if it's those guys are just. Around this toxic environment. Anyway,
That experience did something to the main character or whatever.
The
smell or what. Like
but beneath this, because there's so much, I don't know. You're never sure what's
what's psychology and what's real.
Yeah, exactly. Like how much of it is just what they're perceiving the reality to be. That there's a guy taking a bath in blood, literally, and I don't know. It's kind of a neat setup for it. The artwork is kind of, I don't know. It reminds me of something else. I can't remember.
It reminds me of Nameless a little bit, like the lines. I think maybe it's not anywhere near.
Yeah,
as
I guess.
fucked up,
Yeah,
but
I'd say.
it's
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
similar to that. Like the people.
There are some
the
fucked
art.
up stuff though. There are some people getting some swords slammed in their faces.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
There's
Yeah.
a bunch of that.
yeah.
For some reason, every time somebody gets killed with a sword, it goes right in their face.
Yeah, it. So the regular like the main story is at some point this is he a centurion? I guess is that his job?
Yeah, I think
He's
so.
a soldier, and he rescues one of the Vestal Virgins from some kind of like Celtic
Cults or something.
cult or something like that, and he saves her, he kills all those guys, but then he smells and like senses something nearby that like really gets into his brain. And so the Vestal Virgins like kind of help to heal him, and then it cuts to 6 years later, and he gets tasked with going to Britannia. To what was this? The whole point of him going to Britannia? They send him to Britannia for some reason, and he essentially comes upon. I think that they imply that the head Vestal Virgin sends like him specifically because he's had some experience with over these like weird.
Cultists,
Creatures,
or
cultists, or whatever the hell's going on with these things. Like that's kind of the idea.
I'm glad that you took over because while I was saying like I can appreciate the fictional historical aspect to it, and I liked some of the mythology that they're attempting to establish. You know, with the like the power that the Vestal Virgins have, and like perhaps having a comment about that, maybe a parallel, something else. But as far as the story itself, though, that's where I come up short because I had a little bit of a harder time following it, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Also, it starts out, and it's like, to me, that's like a huge warning sign. This is going to be confusing, is when they have a big-ass explanation of what's about to happen and what
I
makes
hate
this
when that
world,
happens.
Like, as soon as I see that, I'm like, fuck, this is probably going to suck. And it has like a 4-pager or something at the beginning. It has a long one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though the text doesn't cover the whole page or anything like that, it's
No.
just it's 4 full pages of like
Text.
just some art and some text.
And yeah, blocks of text.
Yeah.
This is
yeah.
I'm sorry, this is the one because I read all these real fast, but this is the one. If you open to the middle stapled page, Nero's getting his dick sucked, right?
About to.
I think I said it was going to
He goes, just as Uncle Nero taught you.
Yes, you
I'm
said
not sure if she's sucking it because she's sitting up.
You
so-
said he's getting his dick waxed.
Yeah, I think he's getting
I
waxed.
said he's getting his dick sneezed.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he's about to. He literally says, "All right, my angel, just as Uncle Nero showed you," and then
she
they
could-
get interrupted.
That doesn't mean that she's not in the middle of it. Like maybe that's her transitioning to some
It's a
maneuver.
different
that-
technique.
Yeah.
A different waxing technique.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That
Yes.
makes sense. Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah. That also was my first impression. I opened up to that stapled page, and yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tokyo Ghost did it better.
Oh well, that was just great.
Yeah, I know.
And also, that was a gay blowjob as well.
Yeah.
Is it gay if you're just a member of the media though?
Yes,
I feel like that's his business.
that's
I
just
think,
his
it's,
job.
I think it's gay if you have a dick and you're sucking a dick. I don't know.
If you want to be technical about it, yeah.
Okay.
sure. That's fine.
Yeah. There's no issue with that. It's just, I think that's the
All right,
technical
all
term.
right. So, but is it gay if like they used to have a dick, they don't have a dick anymore?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is
I'm
it
going to
gay?
go with yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think it is.
I
don't
think
know.
I think
Yeah, it is.
you know what?
All right, so it's just like if you've ever had a dick and you suck a dick, then that person whose dick has been sucked is
That was a gay action on their part.
Is gay, yeah.
I would say that. I would say that makes them gay. I would say that like maybe he's saying that is still a gay action. We're not saying that's wrong, by the way.
So
that's
what-
fine.
No,
it's
no,
cool
but
to
I-
do if you want to do that.
Yeah, if you want
But
to do
what
that, that's
about
cool.
like if like had a dick, don't have a dick anymore, have a proper vagina, and also have boobs?
See, I think it comes down to the sexting.
All
right.
It's still gay.
I think it's
if
still
you're-
gay. It's not an actual vagina. It is a wiener still.
No, it's like a
Kind of.
it's like a vagina.
But technically, you are fucking the outside of a dick.
Dude,
Yeah.
if
I mean,
cut-
but when
if
you're
I cut
fucking
off
a
your-
vagina, you're technically fucking like a thing
Yeah.
that could have become a dick.
I mean, yeah, well, the top part,
Yeah.
just the top part.
If you're putting your mouth, you're essentially like sucking a dick. You're sucking.
That's
like
that's true. Well, you're
like when
mostly
you're-
licking a dick unless it's like really long.
Yeah.
Right. But you know what I'm saying. Like,
I got lost. there.
you're like you're on. Your mouth is enveloping a cock.
Jared-
But I mean, it's just we call
Jared,
it
I
a
think you
clit.
found your
But
section
we
to
could
put in
also
the
call
front.
it a mini penis.
That's fair.
Yeah.
There's different. There's just such a technical difference
Yeah.
between eating pussy and sucking a dick.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like is it gay? I don't know because I've never had this experience, but I met a woman who transitioned fully, and she was so hot. Like I mean, she was fucking hot, like objectively hot. Like I don't even know, like even if you weren't into Thai chicks or whatever, like I think that she's one of those people that like you would be like, this is an attractive woman,
Right.
Of course,
and
you
like
met her in Thailand.
like
Of
she
course.
was she had like these little underwear on. So I was at this like go-go bar, which is essentially a strip club. My buddy took me to, and he knew this chick, and she had on these little underwear.
I was about to have a bunch of questions.
Yeah, no. So she had on these little underwear, and they were see-through, and I wasn't like staring at her, perfectly sculpted vagina, but I mean you could see it, and it was sculpted. And she had no shirt on. We're like bullshitting, talking. She got like tattoos. She's like a little bit rough, but like, she's like, but like tough, not rough, but like tough.
You mean a guy?
She was like,
you mean a guy?
no, dude. She was all woman. I mean, like whatever she did,
But
like,
she wasn't. That's the point of the story.
She wasn't. She was born with a cock. But what I'm saying is, if you were a dude, and like I already knew, right? Because my buddy, he told me he's this Filipino guy, and he was like, "Hey, this, my friend, she was born a man, but like now she has a sex change and like she works at this go-go bar and whatever. And then he takes me there like a month later, and he's looking at me, he's like, hey, what do you think of her? What do you think? I was like, dude, I know this has got to be the one, right? Because she's like cool as fuck. Like she is cool as fuck. She's like tattooed. She's hot. She's hot as fuck. Like she used to have a penis. Like I don't think that me saying like, listen, man, she's fucking smoking hot. Is
no, they did a good job. I mean,
yeah.
it's essentially, but they just like they built a person from the ground up.
No, ugly's to the bone, man. Like I feel like
but I think that like if you're just kind of like even average looking and like you go as a dude, you feel like like good kind of bone structure.
Yeah,
like going to unless you have like a really square jaw. I don't know.
Dude, all I'm saying is. Like, and I also know an American motherfucker. Well, I don't know him personally, but I know him through a friend. He married a Filipino chick who was born with a penis. And if you saw her, she is so smoking fucking hot. It's stupid. It's stupid. And this dude should never be able to be with her.
What?
She's smoking fucking hot. She used to have a penis. Does that make him gay? I don't know. I don't know, man. Like he's aware of it. He's aware of like her being born a man.
Yeah, but
maybe he's just like way more fucking open minded than us.
Well, what I was going to say was like I guess you could probably shoot a lot higher if your pool of people is people have transitioned because they're probably like their self esteem about being a woman probably isn't as high.
I saw a picture of her and I was like, "This is stupid. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Like this is like a amazingly hot woman. Like being in a rap video. Kind of.
Okay, but there's your answer. It's not gay. You thought of her as a woman the entire time. You're not thinking about her being a dude and then a woman.
But
you're thinking of her as a woman.
If she went like knowing, like I'm thinking about her as a woman, knowing she used to have a cock, and then she sucks a dick. Does that make the owner of the dick gay?
If he doesn't, no. If he's thinking of her as a woman, then no.
And if he didn't know, which I'm sure she doesn't tell everyone.
If he's thinking of her as a woman, that's all right.
Anyway, like if he doesn't know, then it's not a gay. But is it a gay action even without it being a gay intention?
No action has meaning unless people are, unless you're thinking about it. Really.
So now we just move a little bit farther along. You're in prison. You're not thinking about this dude's like shaved butthole as a dude's butthole. You start fucking him. Is that gay?
Yes.
Yeah, that's gay.
Because you know that you're in prison. You know that you're banging dudes.
It's like
you definitely know that.
Some balls smacking against your balls.
If you're having sex with someone who is technically a woman, like, I mean that's not like.
Or no.
You look down and you're like, this looks like a woman to me. Like I actually don't know. Like, if you didn't know them beforehand, you're like, I actually don't even know if that's true or that they were a man before. But
well, then,
right.
Let's
all the evidence presented says woman.
Then
so,
let's meet halfway. What if you're like you go out to a bar, you go home with a woman, and she never even takes off the dress. She just goes and waxes your junk for you. But the whole time you didn't know that she was a man who was dressed as a woman. Never presented herself as anything but a woman. But underneath that dress is still a cock.
Oh,
well, so you're talking about Lola.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
But again,
do you know that this is a man or not?
The person whose junk is being waxed does not know.
Oh no, that's not gay.
No, it's not gay.
But it's definitely a gay action.
Technically, but in the, only to the person who with the knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
it's the same thing.
Unless the person with the knowledge identifies as a woman, then for them, this is like
right. Then to everyone, it's not a gay action.
Yeah.
I really want to stress for the audience that the only woman that was here left, she's no longer part of this conversation right now. So this is just a bunch of guys talking about what's gay. Whether you suck a dick, or you get a dick in the ass, or you jerk off a dick. And notice, we're not talking about anything else. It's just guys jerking off dicks. Of what we're all talking about, which one is gay. That's all we're talking about here.
Yeah, you're right. We should stop this.
Well, thanks for tuning in. That's Britannia.
I hope that makes you all feel better about sidering with a 55-year-old man thinking that it was a 13-year-old girl back in elementary school.
And we are not judging you, by the way. We're not
No. Welcome to the spectrum of sexuality that is grown-up human comic people.
Well, that one ended better than I thought.
So, Britannia, there you go.
Yeah, all right. So, Chris, would you read more?
I know I won't suck a dick. I know that much.
Okay.
That's where I'm at. I'm gonna.
Becky's not.
Becky is not. She said no.
Jeremy.
No. Greg?
No, there's probably I like the alternate setting, like establishment of the mythology and stuff. But story-wise, I don't think there's enough to keep me going. No, at least not yet. I mean, I don't. No, I guess not.
Okay.
I will say, I'm sorry, I didn't really say anything last time. The cover is awesome. That's the one thing I have to say about
There's
it.
two different covers.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I didn't know that.
The back cover is real crazy looking too, because it's got like a
Yeah.
It's the dude who was like at the end of the book.
Yeah.
Comes out of the fucking.
Same.
yeah.
It's the same back.
Yeah, same back.
Okay.
But I like this guy here.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cool, too, yeah.
That one's way
Yeah.
better. than
Fuck
this
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at that. And I
I didn't.
was like,
See,
oh,
I
man.
didn't see that when I was at the shop. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So
it's real cool.
The one I have in my hand is a soldier on some kind of a battlefield, lots of dead people around, close up on his face, helmet, bloody mess.
We'll
whatever.
post them on
And
Instagram
yours is like a horned
thing.
thing. Yeah.
It kind of looks like Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit with this almost looks
But
like
done like as a Roman bust.
Yeah.
Of,
yeah.
It's not intriguing enough for me to read when I have a lot of other shit I want to read. But
Okay.
not because it doesn't seem cool and the art's cool as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. The stack of my books I need to read is outrageous. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're yeah.
Because that's how I feel about it. I wouldn't not enjoy reading it, but I don't think that I will.
Yeah. I agree. I might give it number 2. Like when the next one comes out, I might give it a shot, see what happens. I didn't hate it, but I'm not like super duper excited for the rest of them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we can probably call that a day. That last bit was something else.
We can call that a day, but can we call that a dick or a quit? That's
It's all fluid. We probably shouldn't even judge.
fluid.
Yeah, it's
No,
fine.
I have to address this. All right, listen. Here's how you know you're gay. You want to suck a dick. Here's how you know you are into females or being gay as well. There are vaginas that you want to put your tongue into. If you are deceived by anything whatsoever, and you're like, oh, that's not a 9-inch dick, that was a vagina. I've been bamboozled. No, you're not gay. You were bamboozled. That's how it works. Your sexuality is bamboozled at that point.
You might be real dumb too.
Also, do all of your friends who are interested in cocks a favor and hit them off with that 9-inch cock number because you know
Yeah, if you
that's
got
a public
tricked by a
service.
9-inch cock,
Yeah.
then just
Like
let
pass
people,
that number out.
Let people know
Yeah.
who, if they appreciate that kind of shit.
Because I mean, I'm not working with 9 inches, so I'm not mad at you if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Just go get it, girl.
No, yeah,
I can't
you
help
do that.
or guy, or fluid.
If you
gender
enjoy
person.
a 9-inch cock, you enjoy it. You enjoy it.
Yeah, good for you.
you share it.
It's like getting some real great boobs.
I'd go take a piss.
Okay.
Done.
Well, this was Grown Up Human Comic People.
Very grown up.
Yeah, this was actually
Very
grown up.
grown up human comic people.
Grown up human comic people. Yeah. So find us on Instagram, Twitter, iTunes, Google Play, Libsyn, and Stitcher at Grown Up Humans, and then Facebook at Grown Up Human Comic People. To my left, Chris, say goodbye to people.
Goodbye, people.
J-Man,
Bye, bitches.
Greg,
Bye-bye, y'all.
Becky says bye. I was going to get to you. Dan?
I'll see you at your mom's house
Oh, making them pancakes.
making them pancakes.
I'm Jared, and thanks for listening. Good night.
Human comic people. Grown up human comic people.
Epicast.